What's going on, everybody? 2023 is slowly coming into an end, and as we're all fully well aware, people are starting to put up their end of the year lists, whether it's TV, music, video games, or films, and theirs are coming out. Just so you guys know, in case if y'all are wondering what my best and worst movies of 2023 videos are coming, my worst of the year list is going to be coming on December 30th, and my best movies or my favorite movies of 2023 is coming on New Year's Eve. So just so you guys know, stay tuned for that. Not only do I love watching and reviewing movies, but I also love playing and reviewing video games. I absolutely love playing video games, and I do apologize that there weren't as much video games that I reviewed this year because I did play a lot of video games. Matter of fact, I played quite a lot of video games. I actually thought that 2023 was one of the best years for video games in a very long time. I mean, each month had banger after banger after banger, and there were so many great Game of the Year contenders. Just so you guys know before I continue on, this is actually not going to be a ranking of my favorite games of the year. Rather, this will be instead is that this will essentially be a discussion of the games that I really liked, leading into the games that I absolutely loved, going into talking about my favorite game of 2023. I actually don't have 10 games written down. I actually have 9 games that I want to talk about. These are my personal picks for my games of the year. I completely understand that there are some games on this list that some of you may not agree with. There are some games that I think I might mention that I think you guys will have higher on your list, or maybe games that I didn't play that you guys played, which, hey, just want to let you guys know, I unfortunately have not acquired Super Mario Bros. Wonder, even though I have heard fantastic things about that game. Also, Baldur's Gate 3, I only played a little bit of the game, but from what I played, I completely understand why I won Game of the Year. As a non-D&D person, that game is really good. Starting off at this part, this is going to be a big surprise, but starting off here is Nickelodeon AllStar Brawl 2. This game surprised me. The first game was a game that was solid and had fun moments, but it was a game that I relatively stopped playing soon after I beat it, or as soon after I really started getting into the game. Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl 2, however, is everything that the first game should have been. The combat mechanics are really good. The art direction is outstanding. The level selection is great. The character roster is great. The storyline, the campaign is a lot of fun, and hearing actual voice acting from the characters is so much fun. Not only is the game an easy game to pick up, but it's also just a fun game for all ages across the board, especially if you're a big Nickelodeon fan like myself, like if you grew up watching shows like SpongeBob, Avatar: The Last Airbender, not to mention Rocko's Modern Life, Jimmy Neutron, The Wild Thornberrys, Hey Arnold. I mean, the list just goes on and on and on. If you're looking for essentially an alternative to Super Smash Bros., Nickelodeon All-Stars Brawl 2 is honest to God the best alternative to those games, and it's a game I highly recommend you guys check out. The next game that I want to talk about is a game that got dropped earlier in the year. I believe it was either in January or February, and it was a game that was praised, and I feel like it just got wiped from the face of the planet, and that's HiFi Rush. This game is so damn good. It got released on Game Pass for free. Everybody just couldn't stop talking about it, me being one of them, and it seemed like it was a game that just got forgotten. But by the way, I do want to say I'm very happy it got nominated at the Game Awards for a couple of awards. HiFi Rush is a game that feels so unique, so fresh, and so original. It was made by Tango Gameworks, the same developers behind the Evil Within games. HiFi Rush is not only full of likable characters, such gorgeous graphics, a really cool art style, addictive combat, a great soundtrack, great boss battles, but it's a game that doesn't overstay its welcome. The platforming elements may be a little less to be desired. At the same time though, HiFi Rush was such a fun game. And by the way, guys, if you have an Xbox Series S or an X, and if you have Game Pass, if you somehow have not tried this game out, guys, please check it out. It's such a fun and unique game that deserves to be mentioned on everybody's Game of the Year list. Absolutely. As you guys are fully well aware, I'm a big Star Wars fan. One of my most anticipated games of the year was Star Wars Jedi Survivor, and this game was absolutely incredible. Here on out, guys, are my games that I gave a 9 out of 10 to, with one game, or actually 2 games, that I gave a 10 out of 10 to. Star Wars Jedi Survivor, in my eyes, is a better game than Jedi Fallen Order. Fallen Order is a great Star Wars game, but for some reason, there's just something about the story that didn't quite get me engaged. This game, however, oh my god, Star Wars Jedi Survivor was pretty much everything that I wanted from Jedi Fallen Order, but just doubled down upon. After the opening, I think it was like an hour and a half, which by the way is incredible. The game does take some time to get going, but once it really does pick up at a high gear once again, you are in for an incredible story with combat that's even better than Fallen Order. A game that has beautiful art direction, an incredible story with amazing boss fights, and truly some holy shit jaw-dropping moments. Star Wars Jedi Survivor is such an awesome game, and I gotta say, Stig Asmussen, who made the first 2 games, did a brilliant job with Jedi Survivor, and as a Star Wars fan, it made me so freaking happy, and it's a game that I definitely at some point want to do a new game plus, because the game is just that freaking enjoyable. If you're a Star Wars fan, if you haven't played the game, please check it out, guys. This particular game, I absolutely loved, and I was not expecting this game to be as great as it was. I loved Lies of P. This game was absolutely brilliant. The Soulsborne games are games that I really do enjoy. I mean, Dark Souls, I really do enjoy. Sekiro is a game that I thought to be kind of overrated. Elden Ring is a game that, while I do think it is essentially a Dark Souls 4, it's a game that I think is very good. Bloodborne is one of my favorite games of all time. When I heard that Lies of P was essentially going to be like Pinocchio meets a Soulsborne, more like Bloodborne than anything else, of course, I got insanely hyped. And this game is so freaking good. Lies of P is on Game Pass, and if you have an Xbox Series X, please guys check this game out, because man, this is a game that takes all the inspirations from the Dark Souls and Soulsborne games, and what we have here is a game that's essentially a darker and grittier take on Pinocchio meets the aggressive combat of Bloodborne, with this really cool dark Victorian style of era. Not only is Lies of P addicting, it's challenging, it's so much freaking fun, it's full of beautiful art direction, but it is a game that, if you're a big fan of the Soulsborne genre of games, check it out. And honest to God as well, even if you're not a big fan of those genre of games, this just might be the most approachable of those games within this genre. Lies of P absolutely ruled. You guys saw this coming. Resident Evil 4 Remake. Resident Evil 4 Remake was an absolutely incredible remake of a game that was already considered in my eyes a perfect game. One of the greatest games of all time. While I do have my one issue with the game, and that is Ashley being such an idiot with her AI, this game was everything that I wanted it to be. Capcom did everything they possibly could to improve this game from the original. They did pretty much everything right. Not only giving this game just in a wonderful fresh coat of paint, improved controls, great combat mechanics, some bits of the story where we worked in small and certain ways, the level design, everything about Resident Evil 4 Remake was an absolutely brilliant game. And if you guys love Resident Evil, if you somehow have not played Resident Evil 4 Remake, please guys, play this freaking game. Although, I'm not going to guys want to say this, and this might be a hot take, I honestly gotta prefer Resident Evil 2 Remake over Resident Evil 4 Remake. And I go to see if Capcom does the remake of Resident Evil 5. Resident Evil 4 Remake, though, was an absolutely bloody brilliant game, and it does deserve to be mentioned on Game of the Year list. This particular game was my number 2 most anticipated game of the year, and that was Hogwarts Legacy. Massive Harry Potter fan here. I love not only the movies, but I absolutely love the book. Hogwarts Legacy was a game that I had so many expectations for. I thought that what Portkey Games did here was such a wonderful job at essentially not only recreating the Hogwarts experience, but making you feel like a witch or wizard. I do wish they did more with the classes, and I do wish that the storytelling was a bit more fleshed out in some areas, but otherwise, Hogwarts Legacy was the game that I've been waiting for ever since I saw Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone. Experiencing the combat, flying a broom, flying a hippogriff, going all around the map of Hogwarts, and also seeing Hogsmeade, the Forbidden Forest, doing the challenges, going to classes, experiencing a story, the Easter eggs in the game, whether you were a Gryffindor, a Hufflepuff, a Ravenclaw, or a Slytherin. This was, at least in my eyes, a Harry Potter dream come true. Hogwarts Legacy is an awesome game, and if you're a massive Harry Potter fan, please check this game out. It is such a wonderful and, once again, a magical ride. This particular game was, honest to God, the last game I beat this year, and that is Spider-Man 2. I absolutely love 2018 Spider-Man. It is, honest to God, such a near perfect game. Spider-Man 2, just like 2018 Spider-Man, is also a near perfect game. Do I think that Spider-Man 2 is a perfect game? No, I do not. There are some small issues that I have with Spider-Man 2. First of all, while the MJ missions are a lot more fun, they're just too easy. Miles Morales' story, while it is really, really good, there are some aspects that I feel like just could have been cut out entirely. From moment one until the moment this game ends, I was sucked in. The storytelling, for the most part, was absolutely incredible. The gameplay is such an improvement. The traversal, the web swinging, the fucking graphics. This game has easily some of the best graphics of the PS5 and some of the best graphics of the entire year. And there are some parts again that genuinely made this Spider-Man fan so freaking happy. And also the way they did villain and when he got to play as Venom. Holy shit. It felt like something out of Incredible Hulk Ultimate Destruction. You remember that game that came out in the mid-2000s? That fight, you know what I'm talking about, guys. Spoiler, by the way, for those who haven't played the game yet. That fight, when he played as Venom against Kraven the Hunter. Holy shit, that fight was absolutely insane. If you're a big Spider-Man fan and somehow have not gotten this game yet, what are you waiting for? Get this game right now. It's so freaking good. We're coming on to the 2 games that I gave 10 out of 10s to this year. But truthfully, there is only one game that I can call my game of the year. With that being said, it's time to get to one of the games I gave a 10 out of 10 to. Dead Space. This game is, at least in my eyes, better than the original release. This game not only improves upon things that the original game did, but at least in my personal opinion, this game does things even better than the original did. The storyline is still intact, but they do expand a couple of things. The combat is even more satisfying. The graphics, the overhaul looks amazing. The sound design is absolutely incredible. But most of all, the most important thing is the horror aspect. This game scared the living fuck out of me multiple times. If you love survival horror games, if you love Dead Space, check this game out, guys. It is an absolutely incredible game, and it's easily a 10 out of 10 game. And honest to God, I would replace Resident Evil 4 Remake with this game because it was just that freaking good. This is a game that I could just spend hours upon hours gushing upon, but this is a game that I absolutely loved, and I could not praise it enough, and I do need to start a new game plus when I absolutely can. 2023 was one of the best years for video games in a very, very long time. However, there was one game to me that stood out the very, very most. This is a game that I've been waiting for ever since I played the first game when I was in high school. And holy fucking shit, guys. This game absolutely delivered and then some. And my game of 2023 goes to Alan Wake 2. I'm a big fan of Remedy's games. Although I have not played Quantum Break, I've heard good things, but I love the first 2 Max Payne games. I absolutely loved Alan Wake. I mean, Alan Wake was one of my favorite games, the Xbox 360 generation. and I absolutely adored Control. If you guys remember correctly, if you did, however, see when Drum and I reacted to one of the Years for the Game Awards, my reaction to Alan Wake 2 spoke for itself. I felt like this game was never going to come out, and everything that I had seen from the gameplay footage, from the trailers, this game looked like a game I've been waiting for a very, very long time. Alan Wake, at least in my eyes, looked like Remedy doing their own version of survival horror, meeting the gameplay mechanics of Resident Evil 2 and 4 Remake. And holy shit, this game delivered and then some. The storytelling of the game is absolutely brilliant. The writing is always on point, was always sharp, and there were so many twists that genuinely had my jaw drop. The gameplay is absolutely incredible. Alan Wake 2, besides that space remake this year, is survival horror at its finest. I got to a point in this game where I'm not even kidding to you guys, where I was at a point in this game looking at a pitch black forest. I was too scared to go into a pitch black forest. Like, I was essentially like, nope, fuck this, I'm going back into a house. This game unnerved me that much. The art direction of this game, the way how this game combines a really cool reality on Saga side with the nightmarish New York of Alan Wake side, and the way how it would switch between the two worlds was absolutely brilliant. The meta side of this game and that song, Herald of Darkness, is one of the best things to have happened this year, and honest to God, that was my favorite experience playing a video game this year, was experiencing that music video. And I'm not gonna lie to you guys right now, before I got to that segment, I actually saved that part, and every time I play this game, I literally go back just to replay that. But I do want to play Final Draft mode. Is there a nitpick I have of this game? Yes, there are some performance issues in the game, not gonna lie about that. But here's the thing, guys, every other thing about Alan Wake 2 eclipses that nitpick and then some. Also, one more thing I must mention, R.I.P. to James McCaffrey, who voiced Max Payne, also Detective Alex Casey in this game. This guy was a brilliant actor, and he brought so much gravitas to the role of Max Payne, but still just want to say that nonetheless. Breathed life into one of the greatest characters of all time with Max Payne, R.I.P. Alan Wake 2, without a doubt, is my game of the year, and if you love survival horror, if you love Remedy, check this game out, guys. It is such just a brilliant piece of art, and that is why it is my game of the year. That is going to wrap things up for my favorite games of 2023. Not necessarily a ranking video, but just me talking about my favorite games leading up to my favorite game of the year. Please comment down below, what were your favorite games of 2023, and also some of the games they couldn't quite finish but you really enjoyed. Let me know below. If you guys want to follow me on social media, I'm on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and I'm also on Twitch. So if you guys want to follow me on all those social media platforms, all links in the year's names in the description below. I hope you enjoyed my favorite games of 2023. If so, please hit that like button, also subscribe, and don't forget that notification bell if my latest review goes live. If you guys want to see my previous 2 reviews, please click right there or right there. And of course, when my next review or video goes live, I'll see you all next time.